Hi everyone, it's Ann at Martin House Flowers. Today we are going to decorate the front porch. And in my last video you saw that I still had our pumpkin mat out and our pillows were still in the fall decor. So today hopefully I can handle this cold weather. The sun was out earlier today, but it's gone down and it's going to be pretty chilly, so I think I need to move pretty quickly to get this job done. We're going to decorate the urns with some greenery that arrived, replace my sort of transitional basket of hydrangeas and greenery here to a Christmas wreath. I did order from Lynch Creek Farms in Oregon, and I would have loved to make my own wreath like I did the other day, but for the front door I like a really full wreath, and I just don't have enough greenery to forage from our backyard trees. They're still too young. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. When I did the lights the other day, I already covered these boxwoods with some lights, so they are lit up. I did wonder, and I did buy some burlap to potentially cover these boxwoods, but I think for now I'm going to leave them. I think they are the Chicago boxwoods that can handle our cold weather. So I'm really hoping that they're going to be okay. They've turned a dark green that I remember when reading up on the different boxwoods that's typical. So here's my winter mat that I ordered from Amazon last year, and I don't have an under mat. Still have the tag on here. How funny is that? But it's a pretty wide one, so I think I'm just gonna go with this. I might come in and get another mat because now you see and it's too cold to power wash the ground, so you see the trace of the previous mat. And I think first things first, let's change out the basket. Yes, I need to paint this door, but it's going to have to wait till the spring. I'm not using gardening gloves because they're just not warm enough. I thought of layering them with these gloves. I might in a little bit. Eddie's barking inside because he thinks he wants to be out here, but it is really cold. It's about -4 Celsius today. So there's Season's Greetings card from Lynch Creek, and I've been ordering from them for the past 3 years. I haven't found any place local other than Costco with their wreaths that I don't find as full, and they're not consistent in terms of being available each year. So this year I saw the Costco wreaths for $19.99, and honestly I've bought them in the past, even back in Canada I did. So, but I think this one is a nice one. It's in the $55 to $60 range, and it comes with a nice plaid bow. They have an assortment. The bow that you see in the greenhouse now is from last year's wreath, and I do always recycle them, repurpose the bows. I take apart the pine cones, and I like the blue juniper here with the I'll do a close-up in a minute. And some years they come with lights if I do the Black Friday, but I didn't get that this year. So there is a wire on the back. Not a really solid one, but I'm just going to put it on the hook. But it's more of the traditional tartan, and I have a roll of my red and black buffalo check that I use for my urns and my swags. I don't know how much I'll do this year in terms of swags. I do need to clean this door as well, but for now, let's get this up here. Sorry about that. I realized that the camera was focused on the mat and you couldn't even see. So there is the wreath from Lynch Creek Farm in Oregon, and I get the classic, I think it's a classic plaid wreath, and it comes with some blue juniper and some pine cones and some cedar on the, I believe that's a Douglas fir. And I love how full it is and classic it is. And I will go ahead and spray that with some Floral Life, as I mentioned. And there's Eddie, just wanting to be out here, not realizing how cold it is. So I'm just going to move the camera over here to face right there. And there are the pillows that we do have a little bit of a nutcracker theme going on inside the house with placemats and some towels and such. So I ordered those last year from, I think I got them from Temu or Temu.com. So let's get going on this urn over here. I should probably pour some hot water in there because yesterday I pulled out the little bit of fall that was still in here. So as you can see here, it's still kind of frozen. And I think this is, whoop, I was able to loosen the thing. Because you really need to start, when you do your greenery containers, you do need to start with soil, because it is what your branches will secure into, and then I will water it, and that will just give it that much more. So that's all that was in there, but it's pretty frozen. So the wreath just arrived today and the greenery arrived over the weekend. So I really want to get it in here, water it in, and as we get snow and so forth, it will stay secure in here. I think I will go ahead and get a watering can with warm water or hot water and pour it in here so that I can break this soil up a little better. Now that I've put away my hose link, I don't have water out here, so I've got to rely on my water source in the laundry room, or it's actually our mud room just inside the garage there. So I think this will work. You can see I used hot water to sort of steam up everything. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side. Okay, sorry I didn't move my camera over there, but I will when we work there. So I've got a pile of greenery from the tree farm in the corner over there, and I've got some here as well. So I think the best thing to do is to take everything out and see what we've got. And I always start with, here's the blue junipers. I just love the blueberries. I'm glad they gave me a few this year. And I like to separate out the different types of greenery. I did put a hat on. It's pretty cold out here. I think it was minus 28 last time I checked, which is about minus 4, minus 5 Celsius, which I convert back to Celsius in the wintertime because I am Canadian and I can relate. And I say this all the time. My family here, my American family, drives them crazy, but I can relate, and you let me know. I can relate to Celsius more so in the winter because 0 is freezing. And if it's minus 4 Celsius, it's 4 degrees below freezing. When the temperature changes from 32, which is freezing in Fahrenheit, and then it goes to 20, that doesn't make sense to me in terms of the math. It's not an easy calculation. So it's not, you know, 20 from 32, 12 degrees below freezing. So it starts to mess up your math calculations when you work with Fahrenheit in the winter, I find. So let's see what it's done here. So my Canadian friends and family will appreciate when I tell you that it's -4 Celsius today. It is cold. I would be wearing my Canada parka, but my Canada Goose parka, but I can't probably move as well in it, so I'm just wearing my quilted jacket here. This is beautiful cedar with the seeds on it. Oh, I love this. I'm so glad. Last year I had to take some from our weeping cypress, weeping cedar to because you want those floppy pieces for the bottoms. So here's the fir trees that I like to use as the base, and I'm gonna lay those out first. And every year I buy this big box of Greenery from Lynch Creek Farms I mentioned. I'm not sponsored by them whatsoever. It's not the most affordable, but from what I could find online, because when I moved out here, I found it was really tough to find Greenery at the local hardware stores or garden centers. But I've since heard that my local market, Sycamore Garden Market, might have some. I think I saw on Facebook. So I wish I'd known that, and I will, you know, think about ordering from her next year. So laying out those pieces. And so as I was saying, I usually have enough to do 2 urns and 1, 2, 3 swags. But this year, the problem with the swags by the lanterns beside our garage is that they often just blow around so much that I've lost a few in the gusty wind storms that we get here in northern Illinois. Some smaller pieces that will work well. So I'm just going to pile them together like this. There's a nice big one. That's a really tall one. So I always start with the urns because they're my feature Greenery. They did sort of separate them, which is nice. So I think I'll leave the rest because those are all fir trees that I'll probably use on that side, and I'll move the camera there. So let's get going. I'm going to use this big one. All I use for tools is my Japanese knife. Did I tell you I found my original one that's 20 years old? And I do pull away some of these. I don't even cut them off. I just pull off these unless I can't. I double layered my gloves. Put my garden gloves over top my other gloves to give me extra warmth. And the reason you want to pull some of this off is you want enough of a branch here to a stalk, if you will. You want enough of that without leaves or needles to break into the soil. So definitely it worked to so you want your tallest one there. In the past I've sometimes just done a one-sided because no one really sits on the front porch, but if I have enough I might put one behind, so at least you're not looking at the back. So I think I'll do that here. Let's see, I have a tall one. Yeah. And hopefully I have another tall one to be my feature branch on the other urn. And obviously because you're working with Greenery, you're not going to get an identical arrangement on both sides, as long as they're similar. I work with one at a time. I don't go one here, one branch here, one branch there, that sort of thing, because I as I look at it, I know that I just will leave myself some extra. Shave off a few of these needles. And you can even like kind of mound the dirt. In the end, I will add more water so that when the freezing temperatures hit, you will get these will like secure into the pot that much more. Oh, almost forgot my white birch trees that was a challenge yesterday. I couldn't find it in the garage. We finally found it up in the loft area that Greg had recently built. Didn't realize they were up there. I sort of had an idea, but I didn't want to get up on the ladder until Greg got home. I keep losing my knife. Yeah, I'm so glad that I did the trees, the 13 trees, stringing lights a week ago when it was still warm around in the 40s, and now I'm just like, this is insane. It was almost too late. So I'm going to go over and grab some of the greenery from the tree farm because I think some of these are just more finishing pieces. So it looks like I have just one big branch of Scotch pine that I'm going to split in half because I love the texture of this and I didn't get any from Oregon. And yeah, I think I'm going to break these in half so that I have some for both. Just do a wishbone break. There you go. That went in nice and deep. Perfect. So because it's so feathery and light and airy, the juniper or the fir behind it still shows through nicely, but I like that extra texture. I'm also going to pop in a picture of last year's so that we can see the difference. I bought a new roll of ribbon. I don't know whether I was able to find last year's bows. I even try to reuse last year's bows if I can find them, but can't seem to locate them. So I have a new fresh roll. So I'm popping in now the juniper branches with the blueberries. I absolutely love it. You could probably tell if you've been following me that my favorite color is blue. Next year, because I've done the red and black buffalo check for 3 years in a row now for out here. So next year I think I might, every year when I pick out my wreath, you can buy one without a ribbon, but why not? They don't charge that much more for the ribbon. And next year I might try their blue one and then do blue ribbon in here for a change because I used to do blue. But there's a lot of red in this year's Christmas decor. I'm noticing the trends are towards red. Really, really happy with what they gave me this year. So in terms of all this cedar, last year my complaint was there wasn't enough cedar. There we go. Love how full that is. I'm gonna have to make sure I leave myself some room for my my birch tree. This one's breaking. So I just try to kind of mirror both sides. And right about now, I think I'm going to go grab the birch logs so that I can sort of use that in the middle and see how that looks. So I grabbed the box that I had put the birch logs in. It was an old Dyson box for my vacuum cleaner. And I remember saving, and there's the ribbon, they're still attached. And I think for now, until I go inside and make some new fresh ones, we'll see how these fluff up. But I left the logs on, or the ribbon on. So I have 4 logs. I know I got 2 from Hobby Lobby, and then 2 are from previous Costco things, I think. So I think I might, I don't know if I want to mix one skinny, one tall. Sorry, it's down below. But I think I'll just match them up because no one's going to go left, right, left, right. I think I'm going to match them up. So this might take some digging to get a hole in here. And this is why I started I think these red ribbons are going to be fine. It's just the edges look a little bit faded, but from the street, you're not going to be able to tell. Let me dig some more. It's made a nice hole, but oh, here I've hit the iron, the urn. Want it to go as deep as possible. It would be probably a great idea if I kind of made it more of a stake, but for now, I don't want to get my handsaw out. I can always do that if I notice it falls over. I'm really hoping that it just freezes the soil, and it definitely will once I add more moisture to the soil. It'll just react with the cold and ice them in, basically. Yeah, so these are pretty good. Get the other one in. Try not to squish my lavender plants. Clearly this was the other one. I have room in the back to push these further back. Oh, 4 inches back there, but wanted to also put some extra branches to finish off the back so it doesn't look too flat in the back and full in the front. I'm feeling some roots down here, so I think I'm just going to dig those out and then use them to pack in the, there you go. Use that as just top dressing. When you work outside, you get a runny nose, because I certainly do. Luckily, the camera's far enough away. I have to stop for a Kleenex break very soon. Okay, where'd that pile there? I'm going to use it on top. Secure it in. And that's pretty good. So last year I also went in and put some hydrangeas. And I see some dried up ones in the box, which I don't want to use those. So I think I'm going to go and cut a couple florets of hydrangea just to add a little bit of texture and interest, because you do see the blue juniper here, which I'm going to put in the middle. Look at that, so pretty. And there's one over here. I don't bother using these junipers in my swags. I might on the front. Honestly, this year I think I'm going to skip the swags in front of the light switch, or in front of the lanterns beside the garages, because they just kept blowing over last year, and it's just so cold to get up there and climb a ladder. So pretty, absolutely pretty. And you know, I have all this down here. I mean, that could be considered complete, I think. But I'm gonna. I like to, yeah, add in some florals. So let's go grab some of those. So I just cut some florals. I used my little lime hydrangeas, the panicle shaped ones, and then I had a couple of the endless summer ones that have unfortunately turned color. When I did the basket, they were still the rosy colored, so I'm tempted to use those over there, but I don't want to take that arrangement apart. And I don't mind that they've got brown in them. There's a little bit of green on the endless summers, you can see. But I just grabbed one each for each urn, and then I'll use 2 panicles. That rule of thumb of 3 is always nice. So, nice tall stalks. So pretty. And you can use anything like any kind of florals. You can even use artificial. I want everything to be natural here. So, but I know some people use magnolias leaves. I had a magnolia wreath, just an artificial one from Target a couple years ago, and that's the one that I took apart and used for my other wreaths. And my husband just doesn't think that magnolias leaves are Christmassy enough, so he always votes against them. So I have to agree. I mean, I do like the brown in the foliage, but I'd rather do hydrangeas. We are all about the hydrangeas here at Martin House Flowers anyway, since our collection of hydrangeas just keeps growing. So you can see here that the ribbon is kind of masked a little, or is buried a little, so I'm just fluffing it out. And then we need some, make sure we have enough of the cedar for next door. That's one. 2. So I think I'll put this one here for height, so it doesn't look so just, you know, straight fan shaped. You want it kind of fan shaped. I like it fan shaped, but you also want it to look natural. I wish I had more of this, but it is what it is. To fill up this area here, using this one over there, so maybe I can use this branch. There you go. That's what I need. There you go. So it's kind of like a pyramid shape, but then you add dimension to the right, to the left, and the center. I think that's done. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's start the second one. I have to go inside for a couple minutes just to warm up. It's really cold out here. Basically, you're creating like a little tree. Did you want to hear the story about this? The history of this Santa that's right beside us? My kids that are, you know, turning 30 and 32 this year, they always called that Scary Santa. And I didn't have him out on the porch. I had him at the base, at the landing of our staircase sometimes, some years. And I used to have it on display at my art gallery in Schaumburg, Ontario. And it was a very much a heritage, historic street. So when I found him at the wholesalers when I was buying things for my gift shop, I thought he was perfect for the gallery and the vibe. Historic old European Santa. And but when it was time to bring him home, sorry, I'm probably sounding frozen because I am. When it's time to bring him home, my kids, I don't think, appreciated him the way I did. So needless to say, when I moved to the US and my kids went through, especially my oldest daughter, Holly, who's about to have a baby. Her name's Holly, so she's a Christmas baby, obviously. This is a bit long. I just don't. I'll try to bend it. Oh, and there we go. Broke off a good 4 inches. She, nor my older daughter, Hannah, was not interested in taking it with them. And when they saw it on my front porch last year, I think was the first year I put it out, I kind of forgot about him. It was in a big box in the basement. And they said, "Oh, there's Scary Santa." So I think deep down they love him, as I do. So So I think it's time to put the logs in. This is the one I think I got from Hobby Lobby. I think it was 2 in there for, I don't know how much they were, and I didn't see them this year, so I'm really glad I found them. So it has a natural curve over there. Yeah, just for texture, you really need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, minimum 3 or 4, yeah, different greeneries, but then I always like to add the hydrangeas. And last year, I found my eucalyptus from our wedding, which is silver, and it looks really bad in the, but let's try it out. Let's see how it looks with the hydrangea. It's kind of, it was fresh eucalyptus that I had in our floral arrangements on our tables at our wedding 3 years ago. So I think part 2 will be making the swags. Part 3, I'll do an indoor centerpiece. So let's take a look at stand back. I don't know if we need a third hydrangea now that I've got that eucalyptus in there. Let's take a look. It needs a third. So I looked for one of the larger panicle flower heads. Found this one. Maybe I only cut 5 because I'm used to doing, you know, uneven numbers. So that broken branch is going to be covered perfectly with this guy, which is the good side. It's all pretty dried. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! And the ribbon is kind of to the side. And I like that. Adds some oomph. Balances out the Santa on the left. I'm going to step up on the porch and look at the back. See what I can add to terms of small branches. But I like that. I'm going to let this dry up and sweep off. Oh, I have to add some eucalyptus on the other one. I've added 4 on this and 3 hydrangeas. So yeah, let me know what you think. So I'm going to add some more to the back, maybe take the camera over, and then that'll be it. And that's good. So I think that's going to be it for today's video. I appreciate you guys being here and joining me in creating this. It's really cold out here. My lips are pretty frozen and so are my fingers. So we'll see you in the next video, and I will do a swag with you and maybe a centerpiece as well with the greenery. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.